Hi everybody. Well, I thought I'd turn the camera on and try to explain myself. I made a strange video yesterday, an atheist stout, and there was a circumstance that led up to that. It wasn't just out of the blue. I'd like to share it with you because I thought it was interesting and revealing of at least the heart of this atheist. If you're curious, here it is. I was exploring yesterday between Kambara and Yui here in Japan, and somewhere in the middle of those two communities, I was meandering through these narrow streets, and I suddenly came upon a woods amongst the urban setting. And if you come upon a wooded area suddenly in Japan, in the urban sense, in the urban zones, you typically have found some holy area, religious area. Shinto shrines, for example, in the past were never trimmed, they were never cut, the trees were never trimmed. The idea was that it was a holy sacred ground. As a result, they become these dense wooded, amazingly dark and very, very, very with an auspicious gloom about them. So anyway, I found myself suddenly at one of those, and I knew it was a shrine because I could see stuff through the foliage. So I kind of made my way through a little chink in the worn-out fence. This is an old shrine. I was near the old Tokaido Highway, so there's lots of old stuff there. And I made my way, and I happened to be at the very back of the shrine. Now, the shrines in Japan go from the very front, where you enter through the shrine gates, and you go through successive layers of more sacred areas until you get to the very back where the main deity residence is. And that's where I was. I had approached from the back. There wasn't a single person anywhere around. There was nobody on the shrine grounds. It was already late afternoon, getting into evening, gloomy, and the shrine was so old and so dense and overgrown with stuff that it was a dark gloom. Even in the daytime, they had little lights in there that you needed some of them to illuminate, to see properly. Really, really dark. And I found myself suddenly at the home of the deity, at the very, very back, where the most innermost sanctum there. I mean, I rarely even get that close. Most shrines have that all blocked off. And I was there, and there were two like lights at the back there. Only one of them was working, and it was casting this pale glow that is only incandescent globes can do. That kind of a warm, pale feeling. And I sat there and I looked at that sanctuary there, and that pale light there, and the gloom and the trees all about me. And I asked myself suddenly, just be quiet, Kurt. Listen, hear what you can hear. This is a sacred place. Let's see what you can hear, and not in a skeptical, challenging manner, but truly, I'm still capable of this. I'm truly in a questioning, wondering manner, a childlike manner. I still have that in me. I mean, hey, look at me, I'm giddy most of the time, and I was really trying to open my mind to that. And so I looked at that, and then I started wandering back, doing the shrine backwards from the most inner sanctum back through to the lesser ones, and I could spot things in the gloom there, in the tree. This is a big lot of land, and I could spot things in the trees there, ruins of old shrine architecture, stone structures, monuments that had been the inscriptions had been worn away and had put aside in the woods there. I saw a black cat sitting in the woods, staring at me with those eyes, as shrine cats can do, and I started picking my way along the structures, the wooden structures of the shrine, going along one point here. At one point, I found a chink in the underneath of the shrine, and I could poke my head down and look through, and I could see all the way through the underside of the shrine to the slots, the on the other end where the wood had chinks in them. A strange feeling to look through the gloom and see the light on the other side. Anyway, I meandered along through here, found all kinds of interesting stuff, evidence of humanity. This shrine is well cared for. It's a very big shrine, obviously a very important shrine, but absolutely empty yesterday during my little wander through. And as I went through, I was really not thinking very much. I was more or less just walking and kind of soaking it up, going very slowly, not a thought of turning the camera on or recording anything. And when I got to the other side, when I got to the front, basically, where the shrine entered up back into the secular world, I sat where on the stoop there of where the community keeps all of their tools and implements to clean the shrine, and I sat there and I kind of collected my thoughts and recapped the experience in my mind, not in words, but more in terms of feelings and sensations. And the thought that kept coming up over and over again was this questioning: what am I missing? What did I miss? I went through here with such an earnest attempt to discern any evidence of something sublime or profound or otherworldly or some deity, and all I could come through was asking myself, how, what am I lacking? I ask myself, what am I lacking? Am I broken? Am I incapable somehow of seeing what obviously generations, an entire culture can see? Individuals that come here and take care of the shrine now can see it. Or am I missing it? Or are they doing something? Are they doing something that is disingenuous along those lines? Are they, I won't go deep into that, but basically, are they deceiving themselves, or even lying to themselves? And I even made a video along those lines, but I wanted to sum this one up because this was before the fact of an atheist doubt. I wanted to explain it. So that after that, then I finally got the device out, the voice recorder, and I recorded some thoughts. Now my mind was in a confused, anxious state at that moment, and they came out. If you listen to the video at an atheist doubt, you can hear it in my voice, this questioning, and the doubt is really my own doubt. I'm doubting my atheism. I'm doubting my skepticism. I'm doubting my own conclusions that I've made that God doesn't exist, and looking out at what I see here and thinking, how are these people seeing this? Am I really missing something significant and profound that is, and what am I doing wrong with doing it? That's what the doubt is. So I ran a few words into the recorder here, piped those through a filter, which gave this echoey chamber effect, like I was in a dark cave somewhere. And then almost in homage to that one single light that I saw at the beginning, and the light through the darkness that I saw looking underneath that shrine, I plugged in an image, one of my favorite images that I took last year, that is simply a light in the darkness, and put that together and came up with an atheist doubt. And I'm not, in that video, I'm not doubting what other people are thinking as much as I'm doubting my own skepticism and my own disbelief, and asking myself, where the heck am I going wrong as an unbeliever? In hindsight, as I've had some time to reflect on it, and emotions have dimmed, that was an emotional moment, a heavily emotional moment, because I was earnestly, it was like going to the top of the mountain and reaching your hands forward and saying, "Where are you?" and hearing nothing but the sound of the wind, and wondering, what am I doing wrong? That was an emotional moment for me. And in hindsight, I've had time to reflect and to consider on more, and I'm back basically to where I've been all along, ever since I gave up religion as a young man, and I'm back to basically. I don't know what the heck. I don't know if God exists, and I don't know what the heck's going on. It appears to be that there is nothing out there. So there we go. But I do have my doubts, and I think those were evident in that strange little video that I made. Well, I'm going to sign off for now, folks, and go and make some coffee, and then go make some breakfast for my family. And sure, do atheists have their doubts? At least this one does, certainly. And I think that having those doubts is one of the key points in my position on atheism. I mean, I'm open to being wrong, and to finding the light, if ever that's possible. But it has to be in reasonable terms. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. It's hiding. How can they be so? How can they be so sure? How come there isn't the doubt that I'm living with? It's hiding. How can they be so? How can they be so sure? How come there isn't the doubt that I'm living with?